Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reviews, where today I'll be checking out a track from an act named pøøk titled Fire Sign. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves the track on Spotify. We're going to listen through this track from start till finish and hear what we think. Let's go, let's do this. Okay, we're starting with some interesting, nice reverb-laden guitars here, really somber low riff. A little bit of rain follow there. Oh, heavily modulated lady vocals. Okay, all right. These trap hi-hats are kind of dope. I'm digging the intimacy and the intricacy of it. Okay, now that little slick little fill there, and lady can't be messed with, don't be tested, etc. You know, you get the impression that you really sort of don't want to screw with this character with that fire sign kind of vibe there. And yeah, just a really slick drum fill going into that next section. Okay, so you get the kind of impression that this person's quite a dangerous type of individual who'll just take advantage of others, steal all their clothes and everything like that, you know. Really kind of a lot of red flags going on here, and just that motif behind it is an indication of danger with that sort of soul kind of wistful guitar line with that groove, that calm, cool, calm demeanor on the drums. With the TikTok girl aesthetic. I love these overdubs of these vocals. You got the main line and then these like kind of double tracks on the sides there harmonizing with that. It's great. It's great storytelling, but it's also interesting to listen to because there's constant change there. The vocalist, the rapper, is in like an octave range where she sits well above like the bass and the drums and everything like that. So it's nice and present and easy to understand. This lady's a demon and a demon can be messed with or something like that. Something like that. It's interesting. If you get a deal with the devil, don't take it. Yeah. Run away. Run away as fast as you can from the lady with the fire sign. Because this is the conclusion of my review of Fire Sign by pøøk. It's a short track, you know, 2 minutes 29. It's got a great vibe to it. You know, just those little reverbs at the end there. I was kind of conscious that I had maybe missed something, you know. But it just kind of fades out with those vocals and delays and everything. But the story there, the track of the story for this conclusion, it's effectively about a warning about a girl that'll only call you when she's wasted. She'll take your stuff. She'll be a hell of a time, man. Don't get involved with that individual, you know. You're going to regret it later on, no matter how good it is, no matter what she's offering you. Don't get involved with that. Stay away from that. That's the vibe of the track. That's the story. And the way that it's told, it's interesting from like a lady perspective. Usually you get guys saying to stay away and stuff like that. It's nice to have a lady saying it, you know. Not that it should necessarily be more important or anything like that. But it's just kind of fresh. And the way I mean it's fresh, because you have this sort of aesthetic where it's almost like your lady best friend is saying to stay the hell away from that other one, you know, as if they know them, or it's kind of the way that the personality there is like they're tired of it. They're like sick of this person running rampant and ruining stuff. It's like a cautious tale. They're not trying to exaggerate it or anything like that. So it's just saying, man, just don't even go there. And I like that more sort of casual approach to it. I think that when it's sort of shoved down your throat, when it's sort of like forced, it's a little bit kind of cliched or kind of cheesy. But like here, it's like, okay, no, seriously, no, you're giving me the wise words. I'll take away from that. That's absolutely fine. And I like the vocal melodies that we had as well. It's not just that we had that sort of eighth note flow there, with some sort of triplets and sixteenths, but also we had a melody that was kind of catchy, and there was a sequence to it and repetition of it that was very soothing and easy to follow, and it worked well with the guitar motif in the background as well as the bass, the drums, and everything else in there. I think that was really cool. Again, I think having the occasional vocal overdubs was great because it allowed you to go in and out of that. It constantly proved to force your attention there by back, you know, sides, front, etc. And it was also the fact that it was just a pleasant timbre and coloration to the vocal style overall, especially with a little bit of vocal modulation on there and stuff like that, a bit of freshness, that modern kind of production sort of gig. It was great. It was dope. The vocals were done well. I enjoyed it. The motif behind it with that sad guitar line coming in and then the rain foley and everything like that, the storm coming, the storm approaching, with the tail of like the lady, the fire sign there, and the drums and the bass coming in later on. It was developed well throughout. At 2 minutes 30, we had that hook verse hook kind of structure there, which I think was well intentioned and well thought out there. Have the catchy part at start, state your point, no intro core, then give a little bit of elaboration there just to freshen it up, and then sort of end it with the repetition there and a little bit of extra. Don't even go near it, man, you know. Don't make deal with the devil, you know, you just walk away from that. It's cool. I think a lot of people have met people like this in their lives. I sure as hell know I have, man. And I wish I'd been told this earlier. I think the simplicity of the guitar motif behind it illustrates an emptiness there, a sort of a sense of being done with it, a sort of unending misery that can occur from going into that state of making the deal with that devil. And I think that just, you know, the modern sort of trap kick sounds and the subtlety of that bass there, as well as little bits like the, you know, the foley we had before, illustrate the lyrics well and give an indication, a sense of foreshadowing there. And just having pøøk come in on the output with just the vocals there to kind of let us out with the heavy reverb and delay was a smart move, I think, as well, because we effectively had someone just really sort of spit it true to us, you know, have the words be the most important part of the focal point of the mix. Let that be what we leave on. Smart stuff. 2 minutes 30 well used. Lots of movement and development within the track without being too much or too overboard. Similar sort of perceived loudness and aesthetic and style there. I think it was short enough to be able to get away with that. We didn't necessarily need to change up the bass lines or like the chord progressions or anything like that. We didn't need to have a solo section or anything like that. It was a tale almost through composed apart from the chorus verse chorus there. It's great. You know, the accompaniment served the purpose it needed to, and the vocals stood out on top of it without being too much. And, you know, the production and recording and mixing and mastering was really well done. I was very happy with it. The clarity of the vocals was great there. I liked how they were filtered and modulated with a bit of chorus or light tuning with some reverb and delay there. The tuning, I think, was purely for an aesthetic kind of effect, which I think was great. The guitars there, you know, the guitars sounded nice and sort of somber. They remind me of something like the intro, metalcore kind of stuff there with the clean sort of heavily reverb laden intros that they had to songs in the mid 2000s, which is great, along with the more sort of modern sort of, again, trap, so hip hop rap production of those really nicely kind of prim kick, snare, hi-hat combos that we had there with little bits of variation aside. Testament to the quality of the filtering, EQing that when the drums weren't there, and we just allowed there to be a sense of airiness with the guitar and the, you know, and the vocals. That we had that kind of cloudiness there, like the clouds were passing us by as we heard the tail. Then come back in with a bit of the extra percussive emphasis for the secondary bit. We had things taken away and brought back in regards to the arrangement. And if there hadn't been enough sort of effort put into the studio side of things, it wouldn't have been as impactful. So I'm thankful for that we took our studio side seriously. This is a professional musician They have done well here. Nice and wide in the stereo field. We didn't have a lot of automation or panning, but we didn't need to. I was very happy with it overall. Got little to no complaints about that whatsoever, you know, and there were no red resonances again in the frequency spectrum. And yeah, nice side chaining of the kicks to the mix. Not too loud, not too overpowering. Nice balance. Finally, the limiting compression was absolutely sensational, you know. It was great stuff, all in all nice and loud without pumping. Very great first impression to pøøk stuff, because this is effectively my review of pøøk's fire sign. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and their Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe. Please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.